Everness to Everness is shaping up to be one of the most interesting new gacha games dropping this year. Hi, my name is Mamba, and today we're going to be breaking down everything you need to know before the release. We're talking about the combat, the gacha system, and the story, and why this game is getting so much attention. If you're curious whether NTE is worth your time, or you just want a clean breakdown without digging through the trailers and death posts, then this video is just for you. Let's get into it. Let's start with the part that everyone cares about the most, combat. Everness to Everness uses a real-time action combat system, and honestly, this is where the game looks the strongest from my experience. It has fast and flashy animation, and you're not just pressing buttons. We got perfect dodges, parries, and a Wuwa-like intro system. Each Esper falls in one of these category roles: damage dealers with big burst windows, supports that buff or debuff, and defenders that control the space and mitigate damage. The game encourages team synergy, not solo carry gameplay. You'll get more value from chaining abilities together than just spamming attacks. Now, let's talk about this intro skill system I talked about earlier. One of the standout mechanics in this game is this intro skill system. You can switch characters mid-combo, and certain abilities even trigger bonus effects when you swap at the right time. But there is a catch. When building teams in the lineup menu, once you select your characters, the elements on the wheel will light up, but the elements work and interact like a chain. Only certain characters can utilize the intro skill buff based on the elements along the chain I mentioned earlier. Now, you are free to swap amongst characters on your team without utilizing this skill, but you are missing out on major damage in your rotations, which is going to be very effective in the end game once you actually start building your teams to be able to clear the end game. Now, there's also the perfect dodge mechanic. If you dodge the right moment, you'll trigger a slow-mo window or a counter attack depending on the character. Now, let's talk about them ultimates. Every Esper has a cinematic ultimate, but in this game, I gotta say, the 4 stars got a lot of love because I was impressed from the quality of the 4-star ultimates, just in general, especially from the first beta to the second beta. And not only do they have, these nice ultimates, but you do have some iframes or invisibility frames, a couple of them, after you cast it or during the animation in which you're casting your ultimate. If you like stylish action games like Honkai Impact, Wuthering Waves, or Punishing Great Raven, then NTE is also aiming for that same high impact and high style lane. Alright. Now let's talk about this gacha system. When you do a pull in this game, it's not like a traditional pull in most games with the pull animation. When you're doing a pull in this game, it is like a board game. Each pull is an individual dice roll, and the corresponding dice will then determine how many spaces you move along the board, and whatever you land on the board, may be a character, weapon, or whatever, that is what you pull. And you have to go around. If you do a 10 pull, you go around a lot. If you get 6 rolls, all 10 times, then you're a lucky guy. But you know what I mean? It's pretty much like a Monopoly system. You just roll the dice, you go around the board, but that is one individual pull. So you can have multiple times going around the board, or you may just have a horrible luck, like I said, and you get, a whole bunch of ones. What's most important within all that is 90 pulls until full pity, and then at 70 pulls, actually, it triggers a soft pity, and then within the soft pity, there's a board changes and modifications that give you enhanced rates of pulling an S rank character that's on the banner, or if you're pulling on the standard pull on the standard banner. Now, as of right now, as doing this recording, we're not entirely sure how many pools we're going to have for the initial launch of 1.0 on April 29th, coming up next month. But the devs have made it plain and clear that every player will have the ability to earn and get pools to get characters on banner without having the FOMO to swipe. So it seems like the devs are pushing this very free-to-play friendly model along with this board system and the soft pity board modifications as something that's going to be very free-to-play friendly. So only time will tell if that is going to match, you know, they're actually going to match their words. We'll have to just wait and see. But as of right now, the only ways that you can get pulls from my experience from the beta is doing daily missions, and, you know, there's certain events in story progression, you know, and possible daily logins, the whole gotcha, you know, thing that we're all used to from any game, right? Alright, so now let's go ahead and wrap up and start talking about the story, because the story is also something that is very important to gacha players. It's not just the waifus, it's not just the pulls and the FOMO. Some of us also really do enjoy a good story. So, the game takes place in Harithu, a city caught in between two realities, Neverness and Everness. These two realms overlap, creating distortions, anomalies, and supernatural events. You play as an Esper named Zero. You're an Esper, someone who has the ability to manipulate these anomalies. Your powers come from your connection to the Everness realm, and that connection puts you right in the middle of the conflict. There are multiple factions in the city, each with their own goals. Some want to control the anomalies, some want to destroy them, some want to use them for power, and others just want to survive. This creates a layered narrative where you're not just fighting monsters, you're navigating politics, alliances, and moral choices. The story blends between urban fantasy, mystery, psychological elements, and the supernatural. Each Esper agent that you'll meet along your journey has their own backstory, motivations, and relationships, and some things you can, you know, invite them back to your place once you got an apartment, if you know what I'm saying. Hey, don't shoot the messenger, I'm just saying what you can do within the game. But more importantly, Gooner aside, these side stories often tie them to the main plot and flesh out the world story, which is standard for most of these gacha games. Like if you play Genshin, Wuthering Waves, you know, the list goes on and on and on. In my opinion, this is very important because a strong narrative is what separates the forgettable gacha from a long-lasting one. If NTE delivers on its world building, it could build a dedicated fan base in the same way Hoyoverse and Wuthering Waves of Kuro Games has done in recent history. So that's everything you need to know about Neverness to Everness before its release. The combat, the gacha system, and a little bit about the story without spoiling you, just giving you a little taste of what's to come. If the devs stick the landing, this could be one of the standout gacha releases of this year. Stylish combat, unique world, and a system that doesn't punish players, that's a strong combo releasing in 2026 amongst its competition. Let me know what you think if you're planning to try NTE when it drops on April 29th, and if you want more breakdowns, guides, or updates as we get closer to launch, make sure to stick around and hit the like and follow button. I'll see you later. I'm out.